Is the United States going into a recession, a bad financial spot? Well, you guys, I've got some information to share with you today, and it's not good.
Let's thank the sponsor of our channel in today's video, List Perfectly, the best and fastest cross-listing tool for resellers. They'll help you get your inventory in front of 12 platforms in just minutes, including eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Shopify, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, and many others. Thank List Perfectly for the time and effort they've put into bringing you this amazing tool. Save 30% on your first month or upgrading a month with List Perfectly using discount code ROCKSTARLP. I'll put it down in the description box. They do an amazing job. They have an amazing team, and we want to thank List Perfectly for being a sponsor of the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel.
Yeah, you guys, welcome in. Outside of reselling, I have friends and family and neighbors who are actually in a lot of different industries which are relevant to us in the reselling business and to other financial genres and markets. I have a neighbor who's in the small banking and loan business for business bankers, car loans, business loans, credit cards, things of that nature. I have a friend, neighbor, who's also in the car industry. He can see levels of people defaulting on their car loans, levels of people not paying their bill. So yeah, I've got people in all sorts of different industries. And there came a report out last month in July, right at the end of July, that we are at the highest level of auto loan delinquency, 60 to 90 days plus of unpaid auto loan bills since 2008, 2009, during the housing market crash when everybody went broke and nobody could pay for their cars or their houses. It's 1.69% out of 100 million car loans. That means almost 2 million people are behind at least 60 to 90 days on their car payments, meaning that the repossession market is going to go bananas. If you're in that business, it's probably a good business to be in right now. That's sad, but it's true. Also, from the housing market perspective, we all know that housing prices shot up. They went through the roof. My house doubled in price in 1 year. It has come down, not a huge amount, but quite a little bit, a chunk. My house doubled, and it's probably come down another, I don't know, probably off the price, it probably came down 5 to 10%. So from its high price, it's still way over what I paid and way above market, but which is good. My whole neighborhood is that way. But yeah, prices have come down and the interest rates shot up, and that's why, because people couldn't afford that much house with the interest rates going to 6-7%. My house is actually at 2.875%. I got the exact right timing. Like what I paid for this house, the interest, everything was perfect. Like I couldn't have lucked out. I'm not going anywhere for a couple years at least. So very, very lucky to have what I have. But all this recapped, let me tell you kind of the bad news and what this means for us. Unfortunately, you guys, what this means is that there's going to be a lot of people losing cars and houses. It's very sad, but it means you don't want to be one of those people, and you need to hustle as much as you possibly can to make as much money. Even when the good times are good, the good times always come to an end, and you need to stack up that money as much as possible, because you don't want to be the person having to decide on whether or not you're going to pay your car payment next month, or you're going to pay your house payment, or you're going to have groceries, or whatever the case might be, whatever that bill is that you have to pay, because you chose for 3 months, 6 months, a year, not to list all the inventory you had, or not to go out and make money, take off and go to vacations and spend a couple $1,000s on the vacation, and a week or two away not working, not making content for YouTube, not making listings for eBay, not doing whatever it took for you to make enough money to get through the bad times. That's how people get through slow seasons like summer slowdown. It's how they get through stuff like a down economy. They work hard when things are good. They get as much good as they can. You know, it's the old, what's that old fairy tale, you know, where the grasshopper and you know, is laying around being lazy, and it's what the ants are working real hard, something like that, right? They're stockpiling food, this whatever it is. I'm not big on fairy tales, but you get what I'm saying here. You gotta get while the getting is good, and right now the getting is not great, but it's still decent. It could be much worse. And unfortunately, there's going to be people, you know, when they have to decide, am I going to pay my house payment? Am I going to pay my car payment? Am I going to buy groceries? Am I going to go on vacation? Am I going to buy inventory? the first thing everybody's going to pay almost always is they're going to pay that house payment, right? This is why people lose cars first, because they make the house payment the priority, and then the car payment is usually second, and then they let the credit cards and all the stuff that there's really no consequence other than credit, there's nothing to take, go first. Like all that stuff, their Best Buy credit cards and their Walmart credit cards, those all go first. And then once they get rid of those and they can't make those payments, and now the next thing they have to pick from will generally be, the car. And this is after all the excess spending, the bars and the restaurants and the eating out and the Amazon and the eBay spending, that all goes first. Then the credit cards go, then the cars go, the vehicles go, and then the house is the last thing that will go eventually when they have nothing else, or they'll sell it and try to get the money. You don't want to be that person. And guys, everybody I know in these industries is warning me that the car defaults are going up, that the house defaults are going up, that everything is going bananas, and that it's just going to get worse. These numbers are going to get worse. All right, so I didn't make this video to be like the Debbie Downer. I didn't make this video to scare people or to just be negative or whatever. It's just kind of a warning to you guys that things are in a tough position in this country. Inflation is still high compared to what it should be. Interest rates are still really high on cars and on houses. My car loans, that car out there that you just saw, I've got that car loan at like 3.25%, which is unheard of. Like right now, people are getting car loans at like 6, 7, 8%, which is crazy high. The truck, if you guys remember the video I made where I bought my dad a truck probably a year and a few months ago, year and a half ago, I believe that truck loan was right when they started creeping up. And even with my credit and my car buying history, I believe that car loan's at like 4.5%, which is good right now. People would love a 4%, 4.5%. But at the time, that wasn't bad. It was just like, oh, wow, it went up. Like I'm getting 3.5%, 3.75%, whatever. And now all of a sudden I got to pay 4.5%. Like what's up with that, right? And these are car loans, from like respectable banks and dealerships. My car's through Bank of America, and that truck is through Truist Bank, which is a huge bank. And like they would give great, sales interest rates, 2%, 3%, 4%. That's just not happening anymore. Right now it's 6, 7%. So I'm thankful to have 3.25%, 3.5%, whatever it is, and 4.5% on the car and the truck. But that was with like 800 credit scores, like 796. And like at the time, I think one of mine was like reporting an 804 or something. So yeah, that's the reality of the country and the interest rates right now. And things are just going absolutely bananas. People can't afford to pay their bills. They can't afford to pay for these cars. They can't afford to pay for the houses that, everyone is living in. They can't afford the credit card bills anymore. They can't afford this excess spending, and it's going to get harder to capitalize on making money from people if you wait around too long to where you're desperate, they're desperate. You don't ever want to try to succeed in desperate situations. And really, you've got to get out there and get the getting when it's good. So that's kind of my message for you guys today. Make sure, you are doing everything you can, taking every step you can, working as hard as you can right now, getting those listings up. If you need help with that, please reach out to me. ProEcommercelister is my listing service. We'll get all that done, and you can just sit back and collect the money and pile that money up while we do all of the work for you guys. So just something to keep in mind, something to think about. Keep in the back of your head there that the country's not getting any better, unfortunately. I know a lot of people are going to bring up election and politics, and that's fine, whatever you want to do in the comment section. But remember, the election is still, what are we, in August, September, October, November? We're still 15 months away from an election, and we're still 17, 18 months from someone taking office. And there's no guarantee that's going to fix anything. It doesn't matter who wins. I don't care what side you're on. It's really tough to dig out of a recession and tough to dig out of bad financial spots for this country. So we'll wait around, we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, from Florida, hopefully you guys are doing good, taking care of everything. I love all you guys, and thank you for watching the channel. Thank you for liking it, hitting that big thumbs up, and subscribing to the channel when you get a minute. I appreciate that as well. There goes our sunset happening here just north of Tampa, Florida. I appreciate all you guys, and I'll see you next time.